gas up the Jeep, it's good to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. The highway is long, the wheels turning round. Pack up the cook stove and the bowls. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I are on the road.
Hey everybody, I'm out and about again today, and I'm doing a little bit of urban foraging like I'd like to do around our neighborhood, because there's lots of great fruit trees and things around. And I'm across the street over at a neighbor's house, and she has a really nice rosemary bush that is in bloom right now. So not only does it have all this nice fresh rosemary, which is so fragrant, I mean, every time I brush across it, it just smells so good, but it also has these really beautiful, I don't know if you can see this, sort of purple lavender flowers on it. And the nice thing about these flowers is they taste just like rosemary. Not only are they really pretty to look at and have a beautiful color, but they taste just like rosemary. So they're a great ingredient to put on all kinds of things. Even if it's most simple to sprinkle them over a nice salad, you can't lose, and has that nice fragrance and flavor of rosemary. So I'm going to collect a bunch of these and bring them back to the house, and we'll see what we can make with it. Now you can see how happy all the bees are over here collecting nectar from this bush. You know, my neighbor said, "Oh, be careful of the bees," and I said, well, it's going to add that little element of danger. So I hope you find this exciting. You know, what I wonder is if the bees that collect the nectar from these rosemary bushes create a rosemary flavored honey, or at least I wonder if you can detect that rosemary flavor in there. That would be interesting. I'm not sure about that. I know that a lot of specific honeys taste like, you know, obviously the blossoms that they're harvesting from. But I'm just going to collect, you know, a few of these and see. I'm not quite sure what I'm going to do with them. Like I said, even just something as simple as sprinkling them on a salad or something like that is reason enough just to collect these, just because they're so pretty. Sprinkle them on a steak, sprinkle them on, you know, some sautéed vegetables, anything like that would, anything that you would use the flavor of rosemary would be an appropriate place to use these. And I think the closer to using them, you know, just in their natural form, you know, just the flower itself is probably the best way, rather than, you know, smush them up and or try to infuse the flavor into something else. I think that really that the real beauty of these is to you know, use the beauty of them to showcase that, and they have that intense rosemary flavor. So like I said, I'm just going to collect a few of these, and then I'm taking them back to the house, and we'll figure out what we're going to do with them. Okay, I'm back in the kitchen with my beautiful purple rosemary blossoms. And you know, I find myself saying beautiful all the time when I'm describing, you know, food and nature and all that, and I just can't think of another word that really describes, you know, how I feel. So anyway, some beautiful rosemary blossoms. Now, when I was out in the bush, well, literally the rosemary bush, I was talking about how I really feel that, you know, the sky's the limit with how you want to use these blossoms. They really smell and they really taste like rosemary, and you know, you could infuse that flavor into all kinds of things. You could, you know, put this in sugar, put this in salt, put it in honey, put it in oil. You know, there's, you know, butter. You could make a rosemary blossom butter. But the thing is that I think that, you know, they're so delicate that I think, you know, the most ideal thing to do with them is use them in their natural form as flowers, and then just add that color and the beauty of the flower to your dish. So what I've gotten together here are just a couple of simple things that I just happen to have in the house. So one of the things I have are some really nice ruby red grapefruits that I got from another neighbor's yard. Thank you, Christy. So I'm going to try to use this. I also have some nice heirloom tomatoes, and I have some nice smoked sliced sockeye salmon. So I'm just going to do, they're all seem to be pretty orange and red, so in color, but you know, like I said, the sky is the limit on what you do with this. You know, even when you do just the flowers as whole flowers, you know, just putting it, sprinkling them on anything as a flavoring, you know, vegetables or meats or anything like that would be really nice. But just because I have these things in the house right now, this is what I'm going to use. So let's just make a couple. So I guess since I have the grapefruits ready, I'll do this one first. So like I said, this is some nice, beautiful ruby red grapefruit from our neighbor's yard. And then here I have some of olive oil that I made from olives that were in my yard. So I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on these ruby grapefruits, and then a little bit of sea salt, and then some of these really nice purple rosemary blossoms. Look at that. And that just makes this dish just so bright. Look at that. We'll set this one aside. So like I said, I'm just going to do real simple things with these. I think the next one I will do some of this smoked salmon. Okay. And for this one, I have some capers. So for a little green color, I'm going to sprinkle, put a few in the center, but I'll sprinkle a few of the capers around, just like this. Once again, some of that homemade olive oil. Maybe just a little grind of cracked pepper. And then, of course, our rosemary blossoms. Look at how just that simple ingredient just makes the whole thing pop. So I'll set this one over here with our grapefruits. And then, last but not least, I have these heirloom tomatoes. Let's do the big one. Okay. Okay. Okay, now once again, we're just going to keep this really simple. I'm going to put some of that sea salt, of course, sea salt on there. Super important with tomatoes. And then some cracked pepper. Again, our homemade olive oil. And then I'm just going to top it off with the rest of these rosemary blossoms. Wow. With very little effort. I don't know how you could make something even more pretty, more beautiful than that. Okay, there we go. 3 really simple dishes which we made with our rosemary blossoms, which we picked right across the street. So first of all, we did the this is ruby red grapefruit with olive oil, sea salt, and the rosemary blossoms. Now this one is pretty much everything here came from our neighborhood. The grapefruit from a neighbor, the rosemary blossoms, and then the from a neighbor, and then the olive oil I made in my yard. So this really is local here, local to this neighborhood. And then I have the smoked salmon with capers and rosemary blossoms. And then of course the heirloom tomatoes with salt, pepper, the homemade olive oil, and the rosemary blossoms. Like I said, 3 super simple but beautiful and delicious ways to kind of showcase those rosemary flowers. So first thing I'm going to do is try our, this is the grapefruit. Amazing. The grapefruits are real sweet. The olive oil really adds a nice mouthfeel to this. Sea salt, of course, contrasting the crunch of the sea salt and the softness of the grapefruits, and those rosemary flowers are really pop with bright rosemary flavor. So, and not to mention just the color of it is just amazing. So that's the first one. Second one I'll do is the smoked salmon. You know how much I love smoked salmon, and this is some really nice smoked sockeye salmon. Really tasty. Texture of it is so nice. Of course, the homemade olive oil adds that nice little richness. Not that the salmon isn't rich enough in itself, but all that fattiness really is nice. The capers add a little zing, of course, as they always do with salmon. And then those rosemary blossoms are just the icing on the cake there, you know, and really add that little bit of rosemary pop. Okay, then our last one, we know this is going to be good, right? How could it not? So let's see, cut a little piece of this tomato. Okay, here we go. And that's a really good tomato. You know, we're only in March right here, so you know, to find a nice heirloom tomato, luckily my local grocer had some nice heirloom tomatoes. These are really tasty. So you know, tomatoes, salt and pepper, olive oil, rosemary, those are all things that really complement each other anyway, so we know this is a winner before we even try it. So anyway, I love all of these. Anyway, there you go. I just wanted to make this quick little video because I just happened to see the other day that our neighbor Karen, thank you Karen, her rosemary bushes were in bloom, so I wanted to do something, you know, jump on that, and well, I had a chance. So I made 3 quick and easy little dishes with ingredients that I had around the house. You could do it with so many other things. These are just 3 things that I happen to have without a lot of work. But like I said, it would be great on a steak. It'd be great on you know, so many different things. On eggs, on an omelet, that would be really pretty and really delicious. You could bake it into like a quiche or something like that, where you want those little specks of purple or something like that. Would be really pretty, and you can sprinkle on top. So the sky's the limit. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you like this sort of thing, please like, please subscribe. That always helps us a lot.
Gas up the Jeep, it's fun to be free. Load up the pans and fishing poles. Arlo and I, we hit the open road. Arlo and I on the road.